Lots more cloud today. Feels a lot colder too. I don't think it's gonna rain. And what's going on today? It's kind of interesting reading this one. It sounded like it was good news where people use drones to help save, I guess, someone's life. This one says, drone hovercraft used to rescue man from Lake Simcoe ice. The person was discovered approximately 750 meters offshore, standing on the ice, and was concerned by the cracking sound, says official. That must be terrifying. It says, Barrie Fire and Emergency Service received a call from City Police Tuesday night regarding reports of someone yelling for help on the ice around 9:20 p.m. Deputy Fire Chief Kerry Clark said the person was discovered almost 1 kilometer offshore. And according to this, they launched their drone to try to get a visual on where the person was, and ultimately they did find the individual, and with the drone apparently they used it to help guide their hovercraft, I guess, to and from. It says the person was discovered approximately 750 meters offshore, standing on the ice, and was concerned about the cracking sounds. Clark said the drone was able to direct the hovercraft directly to the person who was taken aboard and brought back to shore at the marina, cold but uninjured. The rescue took about 30 minutes start to finish. Clark said there is no information on why the person was on the ice, their age, or where they came from. Barrie Fire is reminding the public that no ice is safe ice and to be cautious whenever out on the lake. That is a question too. The way they write this, it almost sounds like he's literally in the middle of a lake or something like that with a piece of ice. But then again, I guess it's a good story of someone using drones in a good way. For using drones in a bad way, I was reading more, I guess, war-related stories between Ukraine and Russia, and this one, I don't know if it's verifiable, but this video was going around where apparently it looks like it's a crashed FPV drone. The camera is still running, and then somebody there, which apparently is, I guess, a Russian troop, was poking at it with a stick. And afterwards, there were like all these edits of the drone, I guess, blowing up. Again, with this video, it almost makes it look like it's a parody. It's something you'd see out of a cartoon, where you have someone, again, poking a stick at something and then it blows up because it zooms out to like a different viewpoint and all that. But either way, there's been so many of these types of videos. It makes me wonder, are they actually real in many cases, or are they propaganda for, I guess, one side or the other to say, hey, look, we're winning and so forth. And an update to that Autel situation. This is getting kind of weird. So as you guys know, last time I tried to get clarification where I had their care plan. I assumed they would give you things like free two-way shipping. It'll be expedited. They basically get the drone and then they automatically give you whatever it is, like a refurbished unit or something as new. But it didn't seem like it was processed that way. At the same time, I phoned the customer service number, but it doesn't seem like there's someone actively working during business hours. So they gave me a response, and according to this, they say it's not covered because, I guess, let's just say I'm in Canada, and they basically gave me this at first saying here, hello, can I purchase Autel Robotics Care if I'm outside of these regions? So it's like a copy and paste. It says, yes, you can purchase Autel Robotics Care outside of the US, EU, or China. If you choose to do so, you are liable for all logistic costs of sending your product back to a supported region. Autel Robotics does not cover any logistic costs or custom fees incurred from shipping to a non-supported region. So that's kind of strange because I kind of remember reading something saying it doesn't matter if you're like in a certain place, they will still cover it. Because I just went to the site, like the Autel Robotics Care that you can see here in their frequently asked questions. It sounds like it's almost the same thing, but it's here it says, can I purchase Autel Robotics Care from the region out of the US, EU, or mainland China? It sounds almost the same, right? But this one says, yes, you can, but if your area is not within the coverage of Autel Robotics Care when using this service plan, Autel Robotics will cover logistic fees for your device to be shipped to the coverage area within your country. So that implies to me, yes, they do cover it, correct? Although it is kind of weird how afterwards it says Autel Robotics does not cover the postage fees and taxes incurred from shipping to the customer's area. So does that mean it's one-way shipping and they would actually charge you? So I asked for clarification again, because if I'm gonna send this back, am I gonna get hit with all these random fees and they say, oh, now you have to pay us like $200 or $300 or something like that? So the other thing I could think of is maybe this was a typo on the site where they meant to say not covered, but this is basically what I read as an example. So what's going on here afterwards? So I sent them another email, and this time I specifically asked them to please reply to each point. I just want to make sure, because again, I don't want to send this thing back and then all of a sudden it's, nope, it's this and that. Because I'm even thinking too as a joke, if you're telling me, for example, if this is going to cost, I don't know, $400 or $500 in the end to ship it back and forth and all that, it almost makes more sense just to take a day trip to go there, because I believe to drive there with their office address, it's only like, what, 2.5 hours from here in Vancouver to there too? And the other clarification I wanted was for the batteries, because again, they didn't tell me to send it back. It just says no accessories and all that, just send things like the drone and the controller back. So waiting for clarification. This is kind of interesting. I said I wanted to test the company out in all avenues, their product and their customer service and all that, so you guys are seeing it as it happens. It makes me think too, what happens if I send this back, they give me another product and it ends up being a dud? Are they expecting me to ship it back to them both ways again? Let's just say paying 2 ways? Because if you guys remember, actually way back when I had the Mavic Pro and all that, something was wrong with the battery. There was like a crack of sort for some reason, so I sent it back and they sent me a new one, so that was fantastic. But the one they sent me had a crack as well, and basically I sent that one back again and they gave me another one, and then that one ended up being okay. So it makes me wonder what happens if that scenario comes up. I guess we'll have to wait and see what happens afterwards. Alright, see you guys later.